my PhD would be like maybe being in a movie or something.
I think you are blessed because you have a lot of fan following.
There's a lot of interesting things that happened in season 2 that's going to shock the audience.
We are very happy to be shooting here in the Besties Cafe.
A venture that I did with my best friend Ibrahim. We were, joking about wouldn't it be cool if we opened a coffee shop and named it the Besties Cafe. Dubai Bling is like a type of couples therapy for us.
How did your children take the show?
My son was like, Mom, this is boring. Can we watch cartoons? As women, we're very underestimated. The other side of fear is so beautiful. Anything is possible. The idea of feeling that you can't attain a certain thing, that concept should be removed from everyone's head.
Welcome to Women of Wonder by Rima Mahajan, or Wow Woman as we lovingly call it. I'm your host Rima, and this is our initiative to bring to you stories of empowered and ambitious women so that we can all take inspiration from them. I'm very excited for our show because our guest today is the first Emirati woman to star in a Netflix reality show. She has 2 kids, she's a loving mom, and she skillfully balances her career with the parenting skills. Her vibrant presence in her last show brought a lot of bling to our lives through the Netflix reality show, Dubai Bling. Welcome to the show, Danya. Lovely to have you.
Thank you, Rima. That was such a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
I'm really excited for the show today because I've seen you last year on the Dubai Bling season 1, and we've been following your journey in the last 1 year. I really wanted to start our show with debunking some myths about influencers and entrepreneurs. And my first question to you today is, successful influencers are naturally confident and charismatic.
Maybe they show that they're very confident, like on what you see on social media, but really I think, they're actually very shy, and maybe if you meet them in person, they won't be as, confident or social. So I think it depends on the person that you're seeing, because not everything you see on social media is what it really is, Like I always try to tell people, Instagram is not reality. It's like completely different. So it's really hard to find people that are the same on Instagram and the same in real life.
What role has personal growth played in your social media journey? And, have you ever had moments of self-doubt on your entrepreneurial journey?
All the time. So I think like one thing about like growing is to go through obstacles. So one thing, initially when I started on social media, I didn't have a big following. Then I decided to go on YouTube. So when I went on YouTube, I started posting a lot of videos, and then I got a viral video. And through that viral video, I got a lot of attention, a lot of subscribers. And with a lot of success, you get a lot of also negative comments. So I think the first time I got a viral video, I started receiving negative comments, and I wasn't used to that. I was just used to my small circle of leaving me nice comments, and I was happy with that. So when I started getting those few negative comments, it really it was hard in the beginning. And I think that's what helped me grow as an individual and someone in the social media scene. So then eventually from YouTube, I built my Instagram, and then my Instagram, I built my other platforms. And then now I want to buy Bling. So that's another huge audience, or international audience that I'm reaching out to. So to me, it's like, when you go to school, you go to high school, then you graduate, then the next is like, getting your undergrad, then your grad. And, so for me, it was like, okay, I started Instagram, then I did YouTube. Now I'm like on my PhD level, or no, actually now on my master's level doing Netflix. Hopefully my PhD will be like maybe being in a movie or something. So I always like to challenge myself. And I think every time you aim to go another step further, that's when you grow as an individual.
You are already at the master's and PhD level also.
Thank you.
Anyways, a global influencer. Dubai Bling is a global show. Let's talk about authenticity here. So is it easy to maintain authenticity when you are a public figure like you on social media and other channels that you are?
I think for me, it's easy. I can only talk about myself because, on YouTube, if you go look at my original YouTube videos, I go on YouTube with like the worst makeup. So I think I overcome the fear of what would people think of me looking like with crazy makeup. So I kind of like stepped outside my comfort zone with YouTube. And then when I went on Netflix, it's a reality show. So you have to be yourself. And if you're not yourself, the audience can tell. So for me, I'm like, the easiest thing to do is just show up on set, be myself, film my scenes, and I don't need to like overthink it. I don't need to lie to the audience. And I do the same thing on my social media. So what you see is what you get. It's exactly who I am. And like some people love the authenticity, and some people are like, why can't you be more diplomatic? Why can't you be, but that's not who I am. And I want to stay always true to myself, regardless of people agreeing or disagreeing.
So that's interesting. You stay true to yourself, but can a reality show star control their public image? How much influence do you have over that?
I don't have a lot of influence over it because, like, the reality show that I'm in is not only about me, it's about other cast members as well. So if they were to tell my whole story, it's they wouldn't be able to cover everyone else. So they just show parts of me, but that's not all of me. There's so many layers to me. There's so many different sides to me. There's so many ways I would deal with certain situation in a certain way. But of course, like in reality show, there's specific scenarios that they choose that people get to see. And then some people, like, they like you in a certain situation. Some people don't like you. It's just it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
I think you are blessed because you have a lot of fan following. I know a lot of my friends follow you and adore you. When season 1 of Dubai Bling was such a big hit globally, not only in UAE, right? What is coming next?
There's going to be season 2 of Dubai Bling that we recently finished filming. So that's coming soon, hopefully. And I'm sure you're going to love it. There's a lot of like interesting things that happen in season 2 that's going to shock the audience. So that's what's coming up soon. And I recently, I'm planning on doing my podcast. I recently did my podcast. So that's a new thing I'm working on. And the biggest thing that you will see in season 2 is the Besties Cafe, which is where we're sitting in right now. And that's like a venture that I did with my best friend, Ibrahim. We were, joking about, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we opened a coffee shop and named it the Besties Cafe? And it started as an idea, but then we're like, why not? Like, we both can do it. Why not make that idea into a reality? And we did. And this is like the Besties Cafe. And, we're so proud of having like such a great concept that started off as an idea, but now is reality. And I'm very, very proud of it.
It's beautiful, and we are very happy to be shooting here in the Besties Cafe. Dubai Bling has changed the trajectory of your career, right? What do you think about that? How has it influenced your career from where you were a year ago to now?
What Dubai Bling has done to my life was like, I was going at a nice pace. I was happy with what I was doing with YouTube and my social media. But I think what Dubai Bling did was like put steroids into my social media life, and I take it on an international scale and like, just take it to another level. That's what it's done. And it, like, honestly, Dubai Bling really changed my life. Not only my life, but my husband's life and our lives. And it's just, when we went to New York and Los Angeles, people know us by name. Like when we're walking on the street, they call our name out. I never thought in a million years that would happen. Maybe once, like in a blue moon, but to like bump into people on a daily basis in Los Angeles where they actually know your name, I never thought that would happen. And it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Dubai Bling.
Absolutely. And you did the show with your husband, right? How did it change the dynamics of your relationship between the two of you?
It was the first time that me and my husband actually worked together. So I really enjoyed it because it is a show, it is our reality, but it's also work. And I think for him, it was he respected my work ethics and my work value and how serious I take being a reality star. So I enjoyed working with him. There were certain situations where I opened up to him, like in season 1, you see that I talked to him about my feelings in the studio. So maybe I took advantage of the situation that there was cameras and he couldn't run away. So I had to like tell him how I felt. So it's fun, and in a way, sometimes I tell him, Dubai Bling is like a type of couples therapy for us. We go through ups and downs and deal with certain situations with different cast members, and we're always there for each other. So it's been a roller coaster, but a fun roller coaster.
So it's a lovely therapy for the both of you to come together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
what about your kids? How did your children take the show?
When the season 1 came out, I put the show on TV. I put the show on TV, and I showed it to my kids. I'm like, look, mommy and daddy are on TV. And my son was like, Mom, this is boring. Can we watch cartoons? So they were like not impressed. They haven't even watched it. I think my kids are too young. They're 5 and 3. So I think for them, they still don't understand like that we're on Netflix or like we're on like a huge show. They don't understand.
Like you're superstars in the town.
They're used to seeing us on TV because of our YouTube vlogs. So we always put our YouTube on TV and they watch it. So I think for them, it's kind of normal. But then Netflix, I don't think they can differentiate between YouTube and Netflix.
But so Danya, you're a loving mother. I can see the love for your kids when you talked about them. They're very young. They're 5 and 3, right? How do you manage your professional life and a very busy career, given you're probably back-to-back most days, with being, out there for your kids? How do you manage the work? What tips do you have there?
As women, we're very underestimated. And I think, the fact that a woman can carry a child for 9 months and give birth to a child and just being pregnant, there's so many challenges that comes with pregnancy, right? So as a woman, if you're able to go through that obstacle, you're able to give birth to another human being. You are able to do anything. And I always have that mindset. And I want to always be a great mom to my kids. My kids are always my priority, but I also don't want that to stop me from progressing in my career or my education or things that I want to do, because I don't want to grow up and be miserable. Like, some moms always might blame their kids and be like, I didn't do this because I was busy with you, staying at home with you. I actually, like, sometimes when I need to get ready for shoots, I take my daughter with me. When I'm getting my makeup done, I love having my kids around me at all times. I want them to be proud of their mom. I want them to see that as a woman in the Middle East, I'm a great mom, but at the same time, I'm a hard worker, and I want to inspire my kids. I want them to look up to me, so one day my daughter becomes an independent, successful woman.
And I think kids learn a lot from their mothers. Probably I'll be biased to say, but they learn a lot more from their mothers than their fathers, because they spend a lot of time. And seeing a strong, independent woman is always something they look up to.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So we're going to move on to our next section, and we call it Direct Dil Se.
We need to connect our cups because it makes a heart.
Yay. We are very happy to be here at the Besties Cafes doing this Direct Dil Se round. And this is like a rapid fire round. We'd love to know a little bit more about you. More beyond the Dubai Bling that we've seen, beyond the reality TV series.
Yes, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's go. And we have a lovely hamper, and the story behind the hamper is very special. This hamper comes from the women from our community. These are entrepreneurs, very small entrepreneurs trying to make a second career.
I love that. Thank you. Is this for me?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You got to win it.
Oh, okay. So after this, if I answer the questions correctly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Recent personal achievement you're very proud of.
I have to be biased and say the Besties Cafe. I'm so proud of it. Like, just walking into the Besties Cafe is something that was an idea and it became a reality, and to see people walk in and be part of it. So that's something I'm so proud of right now. Another thing that I'm proud of is my podcast. It's like my new baby, and I'm like, I'm new to the podcast world, but I'm enjoying it so far. My podcast is called Meet My Friends, and the concept is I interview people that are my friends that inspire me and shape me to who I am, and I want people that follow me to know who inspires me. So I just cover my friends on the podcast. So that's another thing that I'm proud of.
What's your favorite family tradition?
So my favorite family tradition is that we travel every summer. It's me and my husband and our 2 kids. We don't have any help with us. No nannies, no grandparents. It's just us. And it's one-on-one time with our kids. And we choose a location where our kids will enjoy. So last summer, we went to Japan. We went to Tokyo, and every single day we were going to a different theme park, a different play area for the kids. So the kids had like the best time of their lives. And even though me and my husband were like so tired, carrying them, feeding them, like 24 hours with them. And, it was overwhelming, but it was like a memory that will stay with them forever. Like till now, my daughter cries. She's like, I want to go back to Japan. So I think that's like a family tradition that we have, and we're going to continue every year to do.
What does Dubai mean to you?
Dubai means everything to me. Like as an Emirati, it's something that, when someone says Dubai, I'm so proud of how far Dubai has come, how Dubai has changed the lives of Emiratis, and then likewise the lives of people that come to the UAE. And when I hear people that say, I might not be Emirati, but Dubai is my home, it's such a proud moment for me.
Completely agree. As an Indian expat here in Dubai, the country has welcomed us with open arms. It feels home. It's our second home.
Yeah, and I love that. I love hearing that. And it really is. It's a great place to be.
How does it feel to be the first Emirati woman on a Netflix reality show?
It feels amazing. When I really think about it, it kind of like overwhelms me, and I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on me. But I try to look at it as like something to be proud of. Like I stepped outside my comfort zone and I went on a reality show on Netflix where the world has seen, and I feel like it's a type of representation. There's not a lot of Emirati women that go on a show. They're very private. I was raised in a different way. And, initially in the past, I was actually a very private person. But then when I got married to my husband, which is a very public figure, I think I slowly came out of my like shell and I was comfortable, being more public.
What are your favorite fashion brands?
I have a lot of favorite fashion brands. I think it just depends on my mood. So sometimes like I might wake up and I'd be like, today I want to dress like, all black. So there's a specific, like I would wear Margiela, for example. Another day, if I'm like, today I want to be classy, so I'll wear Hermes. Some days I'm like, today I want to feel out of the box, so I'll go find a local designer that has some crazy styles and I'll wear her styles. So I'm not very specific on a specific brand. I like trying different brands, but it just depends on my mood and what I find is stylish. So everyone has a different taste in style and fashion. Mine is more, unique, avant-garde, something out of the box.
So are you a very planned person when it comes to your wardrobe and this is what I'm going to wear for the rest of the week? Or do you just are on the go and let me decide what I'm going to wear today and this is how I'm going to do my makeup?
Yeah, I definitely never plan. Like in general, I always go with the flow. And because I have a very creative mind, so I'm like, okay, so I'm going to this place. Today I feel this way. I'm going to pull a few things together, throw it together, and that's when I come up with an outfit. I never plan ahead of time. I always just go with how I feel.
Other than Dubai Bling, what's the most adventurous thing you've done before this?
One thing that I did that I never thought I would do is go skydiving.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and like if you were to ask me to go now, I'm like, there's no way. Like I survived it once, I'm not gonna do it again. So, and I filmed a whole YouTube video about my experience, how I felt before doing it and how I felt after doing it. And I never thought I would do it, but that's something that's like the most adventurous I've done, skydiving.
What motivated you to go for it?
So my friend was visiting here from Canada and she's like, I'm coming and I want to do skydiving over the Palm, and like it's such a like tourist attraction. And she's like, please do it with me. I'm like, let me see how I feel. So I drove her to the location. She had booked already for me a slot. And I'm like, okay, like, let's see. So she's like, let's just do this. Let's go get the equipment. Let's do it. So we were doing all the steps. And then it got to the point where we actually had to do it. And the night before, there was a video that Will Smith did about skydiving. And he said the other side of fear is so beautiful. You just have to step the other side of fear and you feel the freeing feeling. So I kept remembering that video that I watched and I'm like, you know what? Let me just, be adventurous for once and just do it. And I did it and it was like that moment, the best decision ever.
What's the favorite song you have right now in your head?
So I have to be biased and say Danya, that by DJ Bliss is my favorite song because it was a song dedicated to me. So that would be my favorite song.
One quote or mantra that you stand by every day.
There's one Greek proverb that I always live by and I love so much. And, like just through a translation, basically what it says is a society grows great when old men plant trees in which shades they shall never sit in. So what it means is old men are planning for the future generation, investing into the future generation. Even if they might not be there, they're still planning. So it's like, giving back to the future, giving back at like being a mother. I always care about, my children's future and how this planet's going to be for my children. So I always advocate for climate change, for sustainability, because I look at it as like, we need to care about planet Earth. So I connect everything, but that's like a proverb that I live by always.
The last question here is, Danya, tell us something that nobody knows about you.
In high school, I was voted the most athletic in my senior year. I was in my basketball team. I was in the football team. I was in the volleyball team. So maybe that's something that people might not know about me.
If you don't mind, I would love to know more about your thoughts on Botox, right? There is a lot of, pro and cons of Botox and people talk about it either ways. What are your takes on it?
I think if it makes you feel good, do it. Like, I don't have anything against it. I always say on social media, like, it's nice to do fillers and Botox that enhance your beauty, like doesn't change your face. I think when everything, like even when it comes to food, if you overdo it, it's not healthy. So I think overdoing Botox or fillers isn't healthy, but I think that comes back to the person doing it. And I think, for those that are against Botox and fillers, I respect their opinion. And if they don't want to do it, then they shouldn't. But I love doing it. I don't do it all the time. I just do it, because I want to escape wrinkles and all of that. I know it's hard to get to that point, but I enjoy it and I'm open about it and I'm very transparent. And every time I go to different clinics and I try doing Botox and fillers, I show my experience. And there's also natural ways to get a lifted face or get the Botox result. There's which I also show on my social media, which is like certain massages on the face you could do, certain facials. So there's like everything. And I think the most beautiful thing is the inner beauty. And if you're content with who you are, you don't need makeup, you don't need Botox, you don't need filler, you don't need anything to achieve that beauty.
And yeah, and it's your choice. As if you like it, do it, and if you don't like it, don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's been brilliant getting to know you, Danya. So you rightfully won this hamper. We call it the Empowered and Ambitious Hamper, and it comes from women entrepreneurs, small women entrepreneurs from the community. It's a very small hamper, very small gesture, but everything in this, right from the packaging to the mug to the flowers, are handmade and handmade from women on our community. So rightfully yours. And
Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. And the fact that it's made by hand by women entrepreneurs like that is something that I would always cherish. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
so moving on, we are very excited to be here in Besties Cafe. And tell us more, what inspired you to open this cafe, and what do you aim to offer to the customers walking in here?
I think, like I mentioned, it was just an idea, a concept, and then it became a reality. And I think it was two best friends coming together, me and Ibrahim coming together, creating this concept. And we created it in El Sif, which is a very beautiful location in Dubai that a lot of people might not know about. And it takes you away from that fast-paced life in Dubai with the high-rise buildings. And El Sif, we're next to the water. There's beautiful old, Abra boats, and the whole how this came was an idea, right? So it was initially, I'm like, how are we going to do it? So I think the first thing is, for anyone watching this that would want to start a business, I think first come up with a concept that you truly love. So and you truly believe in. So the whole besties concept is something that me and Ibrahim really believe in. We really are best friends. And we're like, how can we get other best friends to come to our cafe? This is something we believe in. So the first thing about any business is having loving it and actually believing in your concept. The second thing is the hard work. You need to put in the hours. You need to, really like come up with ideas, find locations, go for meetings. There's a lot of, it looks pretty once it's ready, but there's so many obstacles that happen in the background. So I just want to tell people that are thinking about it, don't be scared. It's take everything one step at a time. And if it's meant to be, it will happen. And before you know it, you're going to have your own business. So that would be my advice.
So everybody watching this, you should heed to it. And I know we have a lot of master chefs, a lot of women who are very good at food, coffee, everything. If you want to open a cafe, just work hard and work towards your goal.
There's now a lot of, I don't know what they're called, but they're called cloud kitchens. So, they can reach out to one of those cloud kitchens and say, we have these recipes, come up with a logo for their business. They don't even need to open a cafe. They can just create the concept even in their kitchen, and then, they create the recipe, do it in the kitchen, and then sell it. So there's so many different ways. They just need to do the research. And I think anything is possible. I think the idea of feeling that you can't attain a certain thing, I think that a concept should be removed from everyone's heads. And think that whatever we believe in, whatever we want, we can achieve. You just have to put the work in, take one step, and everything will start falling in place.
Well, that's a beautiful message for every woman watching our show. If you believe in something, go follow it with all your heart and soul. That was the message from our Women of Wonder today. Danya, lovely to have you here. Amazing conversation we had. If you like this show, please like, subscribe, and follow to our channel. And we'll be back with another Women of Wonder very, very soon.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's Danya from Dubai Bling. We're at the Besties Cafe today, and we just finished our Women of Wonder podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and watch the full podcast because it's super amazing.